Good morning, everybody. It's Martha. Welcome to my Shabby Craft Studio. I'm ever so thankful that you are here. I hope everyone's having a good day and that you're healthy and happy. And today I am going to attempt, keyword, attempt to do the stacked flippy envelope thing that several people have done. So I watched Gayle do it. Hi, Gayle. I don't think you watch, but anyway, you're too busy for me. So she did a flippy envelopes file folder journal cover, and she linked Robin Dudley House. Robin did stacked envelope file folder tutorial craft along DIY junk journals. Used a file folder base, as did Gayle. She linked to Burlap and Daily Bread, and she linked to the Book Vandal Shop, who did an envelope journal tutorial, stack of letters envelope journal. Now, she did envelopes as her base. And I don't know if she's the originator, but that's as far back as I could track from those videos. And she used two larger envelopes, more kind of, let's see, probably more of this size. And so you could really do this on any size envelope you wanted. Gayle and Robin did file folder bases, and they sewed the edges and folded it in half and all this other stuff. So the premise basically is to make either a small journal or place this on a page or as the front of a journal cover. Also can be put in the journal, but may be kind of bulky. Now, Free Spirit Arts, my new friend Caryl at Free Spirit Arts, who is, I think, fairly new, Caryl, correct me if I'm wrong, to journal making. But we also share a love of spinning wool, so there's that. And I think she's done a lot of things that I've probably done, and vice versa. She mentioned basket weaving this morning, which I haven't done as an adult, but I did it as a sixth grader and absolutely loved it. And other than needing to buy supplies, I would love to get into that. But, you know, I can't. I can't. Unless I move everything back to my basement, I cannot get involved in anything else. Okay, so Caryl challenged me in one of her videos to do this, little task. So I'm going to attempt it, and I am not making any promises. However, I did not want to do mine on a file folder. So we are going to play with something a little bit different. I'm going small. I'm going tiny. I'm going mini. I am hoping that I can fit this in maybe one signature journal, or on the inside cover of a journal. Haven't quite decided yet. But I didn't really want it as a journal cover. I think having all these flippy floppy things on the front of a journal cover just makes it too top heavy, kind of like front heavy, front cover too heavy. I don't know. I'd rather have it in the back of a journal, on the inside of a journal. So I decided to go tiny. So I went on Amazon. I didn't have any coin envelopes. I went on Amazon and bought these. I really, this is like the third or fourth time I've made this mistake. I really got to get a ruler out and measure. I'm like, oh yeah, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 or whatever these are would be perfect. That's what everybody uses. Wrong. These things are tiny. They fit in the palm of my hand, and I got pretty small hands. So, they're tiny. I'm good with that. I wanted tiny. But the other mistake I made was I ordered these, and then over the weekend, for some reason, I forgot I ordered them. I tell you, I'm losing it. I'm going to be putting a home pretty soon. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think my husband's ignoring the fact that I'm losing my mind. But anyway, yeah, so I've ordered more. So they're supposed to be here today, but they're going to be more of the lighter color that you normally see people using. But these are going to, and guess what? They're the same size. So I have a feeling some of these are going to be going in the shop as resale items. But anyway, speaking of which, I really need to get going on listing some more things in the shop. I'm sorry for those of you that have been waiting. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take a couple of these. And I went searching through my supplies the last couple of days because when I'm faced with something I haven't done before, sometimes I'm like, oh, that's easy. I can do that. And I whip the stuff out and do it, like those pockets that I did in the last video. However, this one has overwhelmed me a bit. So I knew I had some of these from Target from last year, the seed envelopes that everybody was able to get. So I have some of these, and I knew they were in there somewhere. Just had to find them. They were in a box. They were where they were supposed to be, but I had to find that particular box because there's too many. Then I did a bunch of tea dyeing. I pulled out some of these envelopes that I have, and I threw a plastic vinyl. I have a vinyl tablecloth. I guess it's plastic. I don't know. But it has a soft back on it. I got it a couple years ago in Walmart. I can't find them anymore like that, but really love it. It's huge. I mean, it covers easily a 6-foot table with overhang. So I put that on my dining room floor because it's been too wet and humid out. And windy. If it's not wet and humid, it's windy. So I put that on my living room floor and just sprayed some of these. Same with these, which I absolutely hate these blue insides, but you know, whatever. And then I think these I already had, or maybe I had to tea dye these as well. Then yesterday, these came yesterday. So I don't know if it was yesterday or day before. Sorry, I'm mumbling. Anyway, I went a little nuts, and I recently watched a video. I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was. Anyway, they were using tiny envelopes, and this is a white paper bag. Oh, hold on, I'll get it. Hold that thought. It's right over here. I haven't gone far. I got these lunch bags last year at Walmart, and they're called Great Value. And they're white, which I think is pretty cool. Not that I don't have literally a whole drawer full of brown paper bags. And I was tea dyeing them, but they're really, really, like, if these get wet, don't touch them because they will literally tear, rip, almost disintegrate as soon as you touch them. So it took me a couple of sessions to tea dye the front and the back, which I could, you know, as soon as I sprayed the front, I flipped it over real quick, did the back. But then I had to do the sides and in here where the flap was. So next time I will remember to open these up, spray them all around, and then lay them down. But even then, I tried one like that, and I put my thumb right through the side as soon as I sprayed it. So they're really flimsy. However, I really like the paper. So this one had torn. This one actually came with the bottom all torn apart. So what I did was I put it in strips, and I made these little flippy outy envelope thingies. And oh, these are some more envelopes that I had put away. These came with little cards that go in them. So I tea dyed those too. So I went nuts. This is the calendar paper. I think a couple of videos ago I showed you the big desk calendars. Like, my hands go off the camera because they're so big. The big desk calendars that are blank. They didn't have any dates on them. And they were selling them at Walmart for $1. Well, I had my husband, I think it was last week. Must have been like the beginning of last week maybe, or the end of the week before. I had seen them in the store when I went looking for an anniversary card for our anniversary. Couldn't find one in Walmart, by the way, for husband. And I had seen them and I didn't pick them up. I thought, no, I don't need any more stuff, you know. So he went a couple of days later and I said, hey, in the clearance aisle, they have all these blank desk calendars. Can you please pick me up like 4 or 5? So he got like 5 of them. I started tea dyeing them and I absolutely love them. I like the weight of the paper. I like the way they take the dye, the tea. So he, the other day I sent him to Walmart, or he went to Walmart for something else. And I said, you know, like the next day I said to him, hey, you know, when you went to Walmart yesterday, I meant to ask you if you could look for some more of these calendar pages. This is more paper bag. And see, it was torn here, so I just put washi tape there. So he's like, oh. And he didn't say anything, but he was going out for something else that day. My husband can't stay home. As much as I want him to just stay in the house and be safe, he can't stay home. So every day he finds a task that needs to be done, even if it's just going to the dump in the mailbox, because we have to go pick up our mail because we live in a community. So he actually, on his way out, he went, this is another calendar page, he went to Walmart and he got all the remaining ones. I didn't even count them, but there have to be 10 more over there. So I just laughed. He said, well, they're all out now. So I bought the last of the blank calendars. I said, well, if nothing else, if we can ever go out again, I have calendars for the rest of our lives. So, or at least the next, 10 years. So I got really tiny on some of them. This again is paper bag. And so I figured since I was going tiny for this project, I made several and got a little carried away. I used a piece of the tracing paper with some of my kit, my collage kit on it. And then as I was digging through stuff, I found all these tiny little tags and stuff. So we're going tiny. And I had all the envelopes put together, and then I decided to tea dye them. So, we're going to see if I can remember how I had them together. And I think I have way too many. I'm not using the ones I made, of course. But I think I have too many to make a flat. So we might be putting 2 together today, because I have all these fun envelopes. And if I do that, I don't know if I'll be, well, let me think. Okay, I think I'm going to use this as my first base. Now, I think it was the Book Vandal shop. She did it with 2 envelopes that were larger than this, but she sort of did it this way, and she left a space there. But then that makes it a journal. You know what I mean? Like that makes it a journal. And I don't know that I want to do it as a journal. I think I just want to do it as, yeah, we're going to see. We're going to play. That's all I can tell you. So let's see what else I have here. Smaller. And I might have to dig out, I might have to dig out a couple more envelopes that maybe aren't tea stained. Of course, I have a lot of them here. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. So if I did this, and I did this, that's too wide. Okay. Let me start with my original idea, and maybe I'll be more successful. Yeah. I don't like complicated things. I don't like it when I can't figure something out. It really detracts from my enjoyment of doing it. But I need to stretch myself with this. So I'm going to put these here. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to use this envelope as my base. So we'll do that. And then I think we'll do, let me see. Let me see what happened. Here they are. So I'm going to do this one. I was going to do this way. And this one I was going to do this way. And then this one, I could do this way. And this one, I could do that way. So I think that's plenty. All right. Fold it so that it actually has a flap. Actually, before I got these in the mail, I was going to use these. So maybe that's what I'll do on this one. Because they're a little bit bigger. And then when I do the minier one, so what would happen is, I'd have this, 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 and that's my base. It's all about that base, about that base. I think we'll do that. Yes, please. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So let's get started. No more procrastinating, Martha. We are going to do this. So my husband went to go see our horse today, and it's not a very nice day out. It's very, very humid. Like the humidity and the dew point are very close together. And when that happens, you have a lot of moisture in the air. I should have been a weather person, like a weather girl. I wasn't pretty enough to be on camera, but I could have been on, you know, I could have done that. Because I really, I didn't like subjects in school like math. I was horrible at math. History, didn't like history. Although I could do it easier than math. Science, I wasn't great at because, you know, science takes math. But when it came to earth science, man, I loved that class. Sorry, I needed a drink because I just ate breakfast. All right, so I think this one is next. So I think I want to glue down here. I hope this is right. I hope I don't screw this up. So anyway, our weather is really nasty. We had a dense fog advisory this morning, and it's just nasty out. We had a really heavy-duty thunderstorm last night. I might insert that somewhere in the video. It's only like an 8-second video. But we had a heck of a thunderstorm and rain and all kinds of stuff coming down. And we didn't get hail. We were lucky. A friend of mine over in Richmond, she got hail. And a bunch of her plants got destroyed, which was sad. She has a small farm. And now I am also not reinforcing the insides of these envelopes. However, that being said, on the ones that are, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this before it sticks. On the ones that are reinforce the envelopes. Oh, on the ones, on these, where are they? On these, because I hate the blue, I'm probably going to line those with paper, but I'm not putting cardboard inside because I don't want it to be bulky because look at what my glue's doing. Can you see that? I have a bubble. My art glitter glue has been doing that. And I don't know if it's because I refilled it or because I let my husband use it. He made these cute little folders for me. I said, hey, you want to make some of these folders? I want to start putting them in my orders when an order goes out. He didn't say, oh yeah, I really want to do that. But, you know, he did do it for me. He's been looking for things to do. because he gets bored easily. I don't know if I'm going to have to do anything with that or not. We'll see. All right. And then these little guys. Some of these I hate to cover up with paper because the tea staining came out so well. I actually thought about, see, I can't talk and do this at the same time, can I? I actually thought about leaving these as writing spaces and putting the envelopes on flippy round ways, but I'm not going to do that. Not on this one. Although that's something to consider. I could do that on the next one. So, anywho's, yeah, our weather. Our weather's been really, like 2 weeks ago, it was nice. It was only in the 70s. It wasn't really humid. We didn't have a lot of rain, although there was like 20% chance of rain in each of the forecasts every day. But it wasn't bad. See, now that's not going to be... Let me hold that thought. Let me get a signature out. Still have not done anything with this. But say I wanted to put this on the back cover. Say this cover was sturdier. It was out of cardstock. Why is my arm wet? This would fit... Oh, get it in the frame, Martha. Sorry, guys. All right. I hope I've been in frame. This... This would fit on an inside cover very nicely. And look at all the little storage space you would have for things. Right? And then this could be a pocket. I will probably, if I want that to be a pocket, I will line this with another piece of paper so nothing catches on these. This could be a pocket. And what I'd probably do, this is more my style, I would glue here, here, and here. And I would make it a side tuck pocket because then I could have lace on the edge of a journaling card and have it sticking out over the edge of a page. So that's how I would do this. And it would still, I mean, this is going to be chunky anyway because I have quite a few. Well, I don't even have all the ephemera and stuff in this one yet. But I think that would work fine. I like the mini version of this. Now, granted, I did not use a bunch of recycled envelopes. But they're envelopes I have, right? And then if you go and put something like this on here, like I'm going to cover this with paper, right? And I put this on here. Look how cute that is. And then you have another journaling spot there, but it doesn't take up a lot of room because this paper is very thin. So I thought that was such a cute idea. So let's see. So if I do that, then that, then that, then that, then that, then that. So the idea is, if you're out shopping anyway, when you go to any store, craft store, grocery store, Walmart, whatever, look for little tiny, I don't know if I have this package. I think I got these at probably Hobby Lobby. I am looking for, let me see. Let me see if I've got the package here. I should have done this before. Yes, you should have, Martha. Oh my God. Okay. Here it is. Ha ha ha. I found it. Cards and envelopes, the Paper Studio. So when Hobby Lobby has their Paper Studio stuff on sale, these are 2.5 by 3.5. And they come with cards, so you can literally put a card in it when you're done. I didn't tea stain any of the cards, but I could just cover it with paper and ink around the edges, right? I'm sliding out of my chair. Okay. Let's do this before that dries up. All right, let me see if I think I can finagle this other one. So if I use this as a base again. Now, if I wanted to do the idea, like keep this as journaling space, I would put the envelope like that Okay. Again, using an envelope as the base. And then let's see what else I can find. Okay, I don't have any out. Hold that thought. I can take chubby fingers, trying to get out of the package. I could take this, fold it that way, this, and I can ink these. I don't have to tea stain them. And then I could take and just cover them with paper. And then I can take that and fold it that way, and take that and fold it that way. And there's another one. So there you go. So let's do this one. So I'm going to carefully, because the memory ain't what it used to be. All right. So I am going to close this one up, right? I could see this becoming addictive as easy pocket flips. You could put vellum pockets here or tracing paper pockets and stick, you know, something in there. You could like use a document protector and then slip something inside that's really pretty. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with this. A lot of things. I gotta stop singing because I'm gonna chase my viewers away. Okay. So we're gonna put that one there. Hopefully this works doing it in this direction. And I can just cover this with paper. Or even leave it like that. And just use it as a place to put cards. And then the back side could be written on. Don't even have to decorate the back side if it's pretty. Of course, a couple of these are not pretty. Because they're not tea stained yet. And I'm seriously thinking, I'm like, do I want to do that? Or should I tea stain these first? I think what I'm going to do is tea stain these first before I glue these on. So I'm going to leave this one and not do it, but that's the idea right there. That would be the idea. Maybe put these two a little closer together. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to wait and tea stain these. So I'll do that one in the next video. So let's decorate. Do you want to decorate? Let's see. Do I want... I know this causes a teensy bit of glare. See how bad it is? It's kind of bad, isn't it? All right. I'll put this down and just use a paper towel. I just don't want to mess up my my backboard. So yeah, so I've talked about the weather. What else is there to talk about? I don't know if there's really anything else to talk about. I have nothing. I got nothing for you folks because I don't go much of anywhere and I don't do much of anything. So what are we going to do with these? I have lots of, I found lots of little ephemera while I was searching through my things as well. So I like this. I think I'm going to do a little bit of purple. My printer, my printer decided that it was running out of ink. So I get a lot of purple stuff, which I'm good with because, you know, I like purple. These are Graphics Fairy, I believe. I'm pretty sure, 99% sure. And what I'm doing is they have this very faint, I hope you can see it, stamp outline on the white edge. Can you see it? If I tilt it towards the light a little bit. Anyway, let's see. Let's see if we do this. maybe you can see it there. So I printed some stuff off from Graphics Fairy. I don't want to get too far away, but I don't want to get... Still working with this camera angle thing. Okay, let's try this. So I'm just cutting that off. I don't feel like cutting around all that little, all those little ins and outs. And I could use my stamp scissors, but I'm not gonna. Not on this one anyway. Maybe on the next one. Who knows? But yeah, so I got to figure out what I want on the front though. Do I want a flower? I got a purple flower. Well, that's pretty, isn't it? Maybe we'll do that on that one. I have all kinds of fabric that I pulled out and all kinds of bits and bobs. So we're supposed to have, I don't know what's going on with the weather. We've been in a cycle of humidity. We have we had a bunch of cool weather, which was really unusual for the beginning of June. And which I was fine with, you know. I like it when it's cooler. And then it started getting warmer. And I'm even okay with the heat. But the humidity we get here in Virginia, ugh, I just really, really don't like it. So, yeah, I struggle. Every summer I struggle. Most people struggle in winter. And I struggle a little with the light issue in winter. Oh, that's not what I was doing. That's not what I wanted. I struggle with the light issue in winter, but I struggle more with heat and humidity and bugs and that kind of stuff in the summer. Ugh. I'd rather just hibernate all summer. Winter, I can put clothes on and get warm, and I can go out and I can run around. There's no bugs bothering me, and I don't care if it snows. I like snow. Okay. I like Rachel's use of the card. Nice. My likes. How about... Stay there. How about a little label? I need to find a tiny one because we're going tiny here. Yep. That'll work. So, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. The fact that the numbers for this stupid thing that has come into our lives are going up is a little scary. So what are we going to do on the back? Oopsies. Things are flying everywhere, guys. Oh, sorry for the shaking. If it's shaking. I didn't really need to pick that up. I think that one will go pretty there. But I need something smaller for there. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is maybe put just paper there. What about that? Do I have any just paper? I know I do, but redundant question. Okay, let me cover my ink. I just had to re-ink those yesterday. Put the tools up there, Martha, so you can get to them. And make some space. All right. Let's see if I can get my new ruler to work. I've been practicing, but I've also been struggling. So I'm going to And it depends on how heavy my paper is too. And I think what it is for me is this ruler isn't very wide. So there's not a lot of space. I mean, I have pudgy fingers, so there isn't a lot of space for me to, all right, you go back over there. Got enough going on here for me to, yeah. All right, we're going to do this edge. So what was I saying? There's not a lot for me to grip here. I'm struggling with the grip thing. So I'm going to, plus if you've watched me for any length of time, you know I struggle with straight. See? Did not do that straight. And I'm lining it up. Look at this. Look how wonky that is. That's a straight line. This is not. This is. But yeah, that's the story of my life. All right. Put this back over here. So this is not a tutorial, in case you haven't guessed. This is just me doing something that I was challenged to do. So Carol, if you're watching, and you like my little twist that I told you I was going to have a twist in this, let me know if you think it's worth it, if I did okay. Oops. Oh, darn. That was odd. That paper ripped in a really weird place. I know if I don't put my pen back in this glue, I'm going to be sorry. Done. Not that it keeps it from drying out anyway. I still have to, like, open the hole with the pin anyway. So, okay. Ooh, that's a lot of glue, Martha. Oh my gosh. And I'll bet you I'm going to end up gluing the pocket shut. Watch. Over there on that side. So what I'm going to do, card, I think for the front, I am going to cut it across the top. Just a little bit. I hope you guys can't hear my stomach growling. I ate breakfast before I started, and my stomach makes as much noise after as it does before. Okay. So I do need to glue this very edge down. Guess I should have had my paper come closer to the... Should have had my paper come closer to the edge. That's okay. We've got this. We're going to make it work. It's just paper, right? Get it in the pocket, Martha. It would make more sense then. Okay, so I'm going to leave that to dry. There we go. Numero uno, done. Pin, glue, cover. Okay, so hopefully, hopefully I've been on screen this whole time. I gotta remember to keep it like in this little white box here. Somebody said they wanted me to zoom in, but I zoom in and then I can't, like, I'm restricted to this much space. So it doesn't work for me. I can't zoom in that much. I'm sorry. Okay, let's make sure we're still working in the right direction here. I think... Well, you know me and my butterflies. If nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies. I don't think that's going to fit on there. Although it'll fit on one of those. All right, let's see. Where's my... could do a couple of those if I can find the rest of them. they're here somewhere. How about a little garden? Oh, that's pretty. I like that. A little blue, a little purple. Maybe a little butterfly up there. Yes. Want something in the background. Do I want cheesecloth again? I don't. These are the little folders my hubby made me. We use 6x6 paper, and he just folded them in half. He clipped the corners here, he clipped the corners here, and he glued it. Aren't those nice? He made a whole bunch. I'm procrastinating. Can you tell? So this is just all paper from a 6x6 paper pad that I got at Tuesday morning, which all of our Tuesday mornings here in Virginia are closing as far as I can tell. So there's that. I'm not happy. I am not happy at all because, you know, I shop there a lot. And all the ones that are within traveling distance for me, I believe, are closing. The last time I checked the list, I don't want fabric. It's just going to be too... How about some different paper? Let's see. Not that I don't have an overabundance of paper here, right? No, I really do like the tea staining on these envelopes. Oh, Tummy, please. You're embarrassing me. I need a drink. Okay, sorry, procrastinating again. I tell you, even though it's all together, I'm still feeling challenged. Why? Why? Why is it a struggle for me? Because everybody else did such a nice job on it. I'm afraid I'm not going to. That's why. Okay. Oops. The cover's already off. Don't try and take the cover off if it's already off. And don't get glue on your ink brush. Tips of the day. Yeah. That's golf course noise. There are things I love about my studio here in the sunroom. Then there are things that I could do without. Like the people that maintain the golf course. I could do without that. The things I like, the birds, watching the birds, hearing the birds. Dislike my next door neighbors. The view of their back of their house, which is very sloppy, and things I like. Sometimes I like watching the golfers because some of them are not great, but they're fun to watch because they're so bad. And let's see, what else do I like? I like the fact that there is a golf course behind us, because then we're not crammed up against somebody else's house on the back. It's very open and almost park-like. Yeah. Like it. I like it like that. There I go singing again. Shut up, Martha. Okay. And we're gonna just snip this off here. And we're gonna glue this shut before I even get started. Oh no! Martha, it's not what you want it glued shut. You dingbat. Oh gosh, I am just losing it, aren't I? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I need somebody to talk to me because I am really, seriously losing my brains. Okay. What are we going to put on there? Maybe a word. How about a word? some words under here. Hopefully I'm not shaking the camera because the camera is attached to the table next to me. And that's when I'm looking for the words. I'm sorry, I think I just jiggled you. Words, words, words. Over here somewhere. Okay. And this will fit. Uh-oh. Just messed that up. Oh, my wife just tore the end of the word off, so not savable. I tell you, I'm just a wreck today. Just a wreck. I slept well last night. I did not sleep well the night before. And the reason I did not sleep well the night before was the little white fluffy dog that I say snores all the time, who is not snoring right now, by the way. She must have had a tummy ache. So we were very worried about our little girl. All 8 pounds of her was not feeling very well at all. And both my dogs, I have a Papillon and a Maltese, and she's the Maltese. And Evan, the Papillon, has bladder disease and kidney issues. That word got, so that's what that looks like. And both of them have illnesses that I have to watch. I have to feed them a homemade diet. Well, the homemade diet is my choice. I'm gonna move this just a little bit. I feel like I'm really far away from my work because I usually work down here, and I'd have to tilt the camera, and then you'd see things you might not want to see. Yeah, I won't mention what that is. But anyway, so yeah. So I spent the night before last awake quite a bit and trying to keep my ear out for how she was feeling. And so it was a very restless night for me. And I know most people don't. I'm not saying I'm special. Not me. I'm not special. But, well, I am in certain ways that are not always good. But, I don't do well if I don't sleep well. So, oh my gosh. I really am not happy that I'm struggling with this because I really want to like this ruler a lot more than I guess I just have to make friends with it. I do like the deckled edge it comes out with. So, yeah, it's just me struggling along as usual. Do the top. We shall do the top edge. The top. Oh, no. No, no, no. Why is my life always such a struggle? I don't get it. Because I'm just... There. We're just going to turn it that way. Now, here comes the same guy on the tractor that just went up the other end of the... He must be doing something out on the green. Or the fairway. Actually, he's not on the green. He's on the fairway. Yeah. Have to remember my golfing terms. So, let's try this again. Maybe we'll use this glue. So I have to get this glued down so that edge is just that edge. Let's see if I can get this to work this time. Oh, there's the golfers. The golfers are out. Humidity, nasty weather, and all. Well, I guess it's not. To me, it's nasty because of the humidity and everything. The sun's trying to peek through. There's a few shadows out. My windows are soaking wet between the rain last night and the... All right, let's see how this pocket worked. It's going to work. Nope. Between the rain last night and the humidity overnight, and I cranked my air conditioner down to 67, so, well, 68. It would be 65 if it were up to me, but my husband gets the chills at night, so. Wimp. He's a wimp. All right, see, now it's getting bulky. Just from adding things. I don't want to add too much. Hey, bud, you want to lay down over there? You should see my Papillon. He's trying to lay closer to me. So he's in this little tiny round cat bed. And he's a big Papillon. Like he's 15 pounds. So he's a little bigger than he's supposed to be. I like that there. I'm going to ink up the edges though, because my cutting skills were a bit lacking. And I want it to look a little aged. So we'll just inky, dinky, dinky. So he's trying to lay in this little tiny cat bed. I have 3 beds in this space because he's always getting up and moving to another bed, trying to figure out where he wants to be, where he can keep an eye on me, because he's losing his hearing, and I think he's losing some of his sight too. But he's losing his hearing, and it happened all of a sudden. It was really strange. Like all of a sudden I realized he could not hear very well. And so hold on, hold that thought. I'm trying to decide something here. Trying to decide if this would actually look good inside this, or if I'm going to want something prettier. Well, if I could get it inside this. Oh, I'm warm. I should have turned on my ceiling fan. No, I don't like that. I think what I will do is go with the plan and put it here. And then I'm going to do some stuff around it. Yes. We shall attach other things. So, yeah, so he's losing his hearing and some of his sight. And, I mean, he always depended on his hearing to know where I am. And so if I get up and he's sleeping really soundly, he doesn't know I've left the room, and that frightens him. Well, come on. Just a little. So now he puts one, he'll push. He doesn't pick it up and carry it with his mouth or anything, but he'll push one of the smaller beds, the dog bed, the cat bed, whatever. He'll push it into right in front of the doorway, like right smack dab in front of the doorway. And I'm like constantly having to step over it, whether he's in it or not, because, you know, it's the only way he thinks he can keep track of whether I'm coming or going, mostly going. And so he doesn't like it when I disappear and he doesn't know I've disappeared out of the room. Poor little guy. You know? So this is that Tim Holtz ephemera pack. This one is called ephemera pack field notes. So there it is. And this is the back of it. So you can pause this and write it down or whatever, or take a picture with your camera. Once again, the front. And it's all little stuff. And I realized it has some purpley things in here. Butterfly. I don't love that there. Maybe I'm just going to leave this. It sort of breaks up the flowers to have that there. So I think I'm going to leave that. And then this one, I think I will close this up here. Uh-oh. Martha made a mess. Okay. And I'm going to cut this along this edge. How much time do I have? Uh-oh. We're closing in on an hour, people. This might have to be a second video, a 2-video thingy. Or maybe 3, because I have to tea dye those other papers, and they're going to take probably the entire day to dry. Well, that wasn't straight, but it's done. And that way I can put a card in here. Yep. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'm going to turn this one off, check and see if my husband called, and then I will do video 2, but I'm going to go tea stain these little envelopes so I can work on the second one. Okay, so I'll be back. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I didn't have much to talk about. I apologize. It is what it is. I will talk to you soon. I'll be back. Take care. Bye. Have a great day. Love you. Gotta do my heart. I love you. Thank you for being here. Bye.